The fact that she lives here and decided on her own, I want to come talk to entrepreneurs. We are so grateful and so appreciative to UT, students in there, all of you here. Welcome, Rhonda Shear.
Thank you. Thank you. So sweet. Thank you. I'm taking her on the road with me. How about a hand for Dara? I always have props. Anyway, I am delighted to be here with all of you entrepreneurs. Look at you. Eat up, because I never missed a meal during my entire showbiz career, entrepreneurial career. Gotta eat. Anyway, it's great to be here today, and especially in now, my hometown of Tampa. My entrepreneurial career did not start out that way. I actually started on the showbiz road. So it just shows you, your life can take you in many directions. And then you can end up selling 35 million bras in 34 countries, the #1 selling bra in the world. I didn't think about that at the time I was in Hollywood. So by the time I was 23, I had won 3 beauty pageants, including 3 Miss Louisianas. I ran for public office in New Orleans. I lost one of my titles because I appeared in Playboy completely clothed. So I sued to be reinstated as that title, never got the title back, learned very quickly that you had to fight for what you wanted in life, even at the tender age of 21. Moved out to Hollywood, was cast by Bob Hope in a Bob Hope special, and as Fonzie's girlfriend in the Happy Days. So, and graduated from Loyola University. I had to do that for my parents, of course, but loved it in communications. Thinking that I was going to stay in New Orleans and become a broadcaster, journalist. You never know where life will take you, and I always say just follow it. You don't know, take those paths, and even if you hate a job or you've hated a job in your life, you learn from that. You take everything away. Never burn a bridge. Never burn a bridge. I always call it the Rolodex of life. Always keep your contacts, because you will use those contacts. All of a sudden you'll say, hey, the person I met like 30 years ago, I still do that today. But anyway, I had this interesting career, and I was always told that I couldn't do something. I was too curvy to be an actress. I didn't look like the girl next door, or I was too pretty to do stand-up comedy, or I was too this or that to be a businesswoman. I mean, I'm telling you, no was the big word in my life. And you tell me no, and I'm going to just bust those doors down. It especially gets me going. So it started off when I was told that I was too sexy to do stand-up comedy in LA, and I wanted to do stand-up, and I started kind of after the Paula Poundstones and the Roseanne Barrs were out there. They were housewives that turned into comedians, and I wanted to just do stand-up, and I was told, no, you can't do it. So, because no one knew where to put me. No one was wearing short skirts, big hair, and big boobs. So I said, hey, you can be funny and have big boobs. There's no law against that. So I started doing stand-up and started getting paid. I started out on literally in front of comedy clubs, like the Comedy Store and the Improv, waiting for my place to do 5 minutes, and someone went, huh, and I thought it was a laugh, and I kept going. But you got to believe in yourself. As an entrepreneur, as anything you do in your life, you have to believe in yourself. I know you've heard this before, but it's really true. You have to. My thing too was when I hit Hollywood, I had to put blinders on because there was always someone taller, more talented, could sing better, could dance better. So I never competed with anyone. I always competed with myself because I knew I was special, and it didn't matter if someone told me no. I knew that I had something special to offer, and you just have to keep going for it. So even today with my brand, the Rhonda Shear brand, I mean, we do thousands of SKUs of items. We're not just bras, we do intimate apparel, we do sleepwear, we do loungewear, we do other brands, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I just never look at another brand and copy them. I don't want to copy them. I just know if I need something in life and it comes from me, then other people, other women will need the same things. And I know as entrepreneurs, you probably have invented something or created something out of your own necessity. The bra was created because I kept growing and there was no bras on the marketplace for me that I could find that would work for my body. But let me just step back for a second and tell you how I got onto HSN and how the business side. So anyway, many, many years in front of the camera in Hollywood, successfully. I don't know how many people remember me from USA Up All Night. I did that from 91 to 98. Anybody remember that show? You remember that? Okay, cool. So I hosted these B-movies, and even that, when I got that gig, I was so tired of being told that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I looked this, I looked that, even though I had never stopped working from the time I hit LA in 1979. Now it's 1991. I was doing stand-up comedy successfully, headlining Las Vegas clubs. It was fabulous, but I was told, oh, this is a host job. You're going to be hosting movies. So all the other women showed up like in newscaster broadcast suits back then. And I showed up in like a plastic dress cut down to my waist in the front and the back. I brought my blow dryer and plugged it in the audition and started blowing out my hair. I got the job. I was different. And that lasted 9 wonderful years and gave me this wonderful cult following that people still write me today. And then my stand-up comedy gigs and all over, the money went up, the prices went up, so the appearances went up. And it really at that time, if I could have, I would have started a brand. I didn't have the complete wherewithal I didn't know how to do the business side. I was the marketing PR. I was the product. I sold myself. And one thing I learned is sometimes I sold too hard, and you can't sell too hard. You've got to be gentle. You've got to tell the story and be a great storyteller about your product, even when the product's yourself. So even when I'm on HSN, I love storytelling, but my style was from show business and comedy, so I don't push it down their throats. But I tell the truth because I believe in the product. But anyway, I hit 40 when I was in Los Angeles, and out there you have an expiration date. And I realized, okay, I love this career, but I'm not going to be playing these bimbo parts and these kind of parts forever. And that's what I've typecast, because when I hit LA, that's all there was. You were the victim role. It was the Jiggle Wiggle. It was Charlie's Angels. It was all the sexy roles. And yes, I went through the whole sexual harassment thing. I'm sure a lot of you gals did. I was chased around a few casting couches, but I always did things my way and never went that direction, which is why I'm not an A-list star. No, thank you. No, being a working actress, sometimes you've made it and you don't even realize it. And I think being a working actor, I had made it. But anyway, so I hit 40 and I started thinking, well, the one thing I did do that I don't recommend was I actually gave up starting a family. I mean, I had lots of proposals, but the right guy hadn't come along, and so I didn't do that. And I think you can't, no matter what your dreams are, you have to also follow your personal life and have family and find that love. But anyway, I hadn't married. Not that I wasn't having a great time. I was having a wonderful time. I was dating for fine dining back then. That was before girls had to pay for their own meals, so I did that. And all of a sudden, I'm in my early 40s and actually mid 40s, and my first boyfriend from junior high school reaches out to me through classmates.com. And I'm like, wow, I'm dating all these producers and directors and all these people in Hollywood. I wonder what it would be like to see the first person that I ever kissed. And I never forgot him. Most of us don't forget our first love. And anyway, we started communicating and kind of flirting. And a few weeks later, we got together in New Orleans, which is our hometown, and over Christmas. And 15 days later, we eloped. So you can see I'm very spontaneous, and so is he. And I think that's another part of being an entrepreneur, is you have to make decisions quickly and put a stake in it and go for it, as we actually did later on. But we got married, and the only thing is, people say, what was your business model? Well, our business model was survival. It wasn't exactly everybody else's business model. It was survival. Love drove us, and starvation pushed us. So we started, we didn't really think through it. He was living in Louisiana, in Lafayette, Louisiana. I was living in Hollywood, or Beverly Hills even. So this wasn't going to work. So I moved with him. He had his own business at the time. And through a series of events, we moved on from that, but circumstances anyway. So he said, what do you want to do? I said, well, I've always designed my own beautiful gowns for pageants and costume myself during my years in Hollywood. I would love to design, and I would love to design intimate apparel because things are changing, and I hate all the outfits they put me on up all night, even though they were cute, they were uncomfortable. And I always thought there was a better way to do women's lingerie and intimate apparel. So I knew the TV side, I knew the television side, so I actually reached out to HSN. I went downtown Los Angeles and found some product that was generic product that I could relabel using my name. My husband built me a website. We reached out to Home Shopping Network. It was a little bit of luck at that time because people there knew me back almost 16 years ago, knew me from the show and being a celebrity, but they were like, what do you have? So they gave me a couple of minutes. They gave me about 20 minutes airtime, and we sold out 6,400 units in like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Again, it was my husband knowing how to put together a business and my ability that I didn't know I had at the time of sales. And you'll love this part though. So the buyers bring us into their office and they go, this is great. When can you come back? And I'm saying 2 weeks. And my husband's kicking me under the table, you need product. I was just happy to be on TV. Like, I'm show business, babe, I'll dance. So that began, that's when people ask, you know, how do you do it? How do you start? I mean, we really were babies. And I knew I could design. So we started reaching out through friends of friends, and we had a lot of connections in Los Angeles. My husband had a lot of connections in business, and so we reached out to manufacturers who were much like us, that were smaller companies, because when you manufacture intimate apparel, they want hundreds of thousands of units from China, and where it was impossible. And HSN was testing us at this point. I'm just looking to make sure I don't want to overtalk. I know I have a while, but so we had to meet up with people that were like us, that would manufacture smaller units, and also would trust us, because who were we? You know, I came from stand-up comedy and show business, and my husband was in the software business. Now he was in really soft business, you know. So borrowing from banks was not an option. They looked at us like we were crazy. And I reached out to a couple very wealthy friends who basically said no. But I had one friend who had made it from ground up, who said to me, if someone lends you money, they're going to own your product line. They're going to tell you what to do with it. They're going to design it for you. And if it sounds too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. So with that, I hocked all of my jewelry. And it's true. And my husband, we turned in his 401k because we believed that we could do it. We didn't have anyone that was helping us, no one. And both of us had gone all the way up in both of our careers, but I was a single woman spending a lot of money, and he had gone through a divorce. So we were kind of, you know, just making it. I mean, we'd been here and then we were here. And we were newlyweds and we were in love, but we never fought over money, which is amazing. But we knew that we could make it. We both had this incredible drive. And we thought, well, maybe if we move to Florida, we'll be closer to HSN. And because intimate apparel is not so seasonal, they can put me on the air whenever they need me. At that time, the shows weren't as programmed as they are now, so they would drop me in at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever, and I'd be there. And sure enough, our business grew 1,100% in the first year. It's pretty exciting. So we started working with manufacturers. We found this fabulous Canadian knitting mill, because I'll talk to you about the Abra. It's knitted. It's a very special fabrication that's knitted on a machine. So we had to find knitting mills that did this. We worked with this Canadian company and got friendly with this young man who owned this small knitting mill. And literally we sat in Canada, in Quebec, for like a week working on this bra. The technology was there, so the product was, similar products were out there in very small amounts, mainly in Sears in Canada. But we made this bra into a, for all women, all shapes and sizes, from extra small to 3X. So we kept experimenting, and it was really cool to sit there via computer and watch this bra come to life. So HSN ordered it, so I started selling it, and I just did my thing. I never really looked at the numbers. My husband was the numbers person, put together the numbers. He would just say, let's live lean, let's keep putting the money back in. We made this money, he was counting the money. We made this money off these shows, we're gonna put it back in. We believe in ourselves, we're gonna keep buying products. So that's what we did. We lived very lean, and we never had anybody at this point. So the bra kept selling in crazy amounts for the years. And one day on the air, we just called it a seamless bra, but one day I think it was with Bobby Carter, and I literally said, it's like a big sigh of relief. And then I just branded it right there. I said, ooh, I went home and I said, that's a good name for the bra, and it was a good name for the bra. And my husband was watching the numbers kept through years. We're flying on this bra that we created or developed. And so he said, we live in a town where infomercials are made, and he said, I really think this bra would be a great infomercial. And I, who's like, I'm ready for anything. I said, no, a bra, really? It's not like a thing or a gadget, it's a bra. I don't see it. And he goes, I'm watching the numbers on this, because an infomercial has to be very universal for most people, so you're leaving the guys out. So they tested this infomercial not knowing what it would do. We taped it so inexpensively in a little boutique that we owned at the time, and all of a sudden, it just blew up. And everybody in the infomercial world was like, what? And we never put our price lower, like a lot of infomercials, it's like $9.99 and you get 3 more free, whatever. We never did that. We kept it, at the time it was $20 a bra, that's what we were selling for on HSN, and the infomercial rolled out at $59.90 for 3. So and HSN didn't want us we didn't want to cheapen the product. This thing just killed, it screamed, and the next thing you know, we are selling the bra in 34 countries. It was screaming internationally. Thank you.